Hey everyone, it's the Asset Stacker. Today is Friday. We are at the Tennessee State Numismatic Show. It's going to be a coin show, the fall show here, and right outside of Chattanooga. I guess this little town is called East Ridge, Tennessee. So, going in for a couple of things, as you guys know. I need a 1/10 ounce maple leaf, gold maple, in order to fill my tube, and I still need 7 Britannias, 1/10 ounce, to fill that tube. So I guess my biggest goal going into here today is going to be to try to find the one maple that I need, and maybe pick up a couple of the Britannias or something like that. I'm also going to be looking for some Halloween bars for World Money Wins, and see if there's something that I can find that he might need. Maybe do some trading with him on some other things that he has that I want. So anyway, getting ready to go into the show. So we're going to get back with you as soon as I find out. From the looks of the parking lot, I couldn't hardly find a parking spot. So looks like this show is going to be pretty busy. It's already been going on now for about an hour. So we'll see what's at these tables, and hopefully find some good deals. I'll keep you posted. Well, we're back at the house, and as you can tell by the stack of money, it's much smaller than it was in the intro with this video. I did forget to mention at the start of this video that what the gold price was and the current spot price for silver. When I was at the show, as I was going in after I recorded the intro, I did look, and gold was $4,000.90. So $4,000 even and 90 cents. So that put a 1/10 ounce of gold melt value at about $400 a coin. So that pretty much was my baseline. I did not have a chance to look. As I was going in, you saw there on the clip just before this one, where I was showing you the kind of the way the place was set up and how many people were there. The very first tables that I come to had gold. So I thought, well, I will look up to find out what the cheapest online prices that I could get for a maple leaf and a Britannia. But the prices that they were giving me, just when I asked, before I even looked it up to see what the best price was, I did ask them. I said, this table that I went to, they did not have, I asked them if they had a maple leaf, because that's really what my primary target was, just because I wanted to fill that tube. And like I said, I only needed one more to fill the tube that I had from last year. But that being said, they did not have a maple leaf, but they did have a couple of Britannias. And I asked him what he would take for those, and he said $400 a piece. So that was melt value. I asked him if he had a tester, and he didn't. And you guys ask me a lot if I worry about buying fake, going to a coin show. How do you know that what you're buying is real? Most tables do have machines, and if they don't, that's okay with me, because I always take mine with me. And so I did not film this, but on this particular order, but he had these, and $400 a piece. So it was melt value. I wasn't going to ask him if that was the best price he could give me. I didn't try to negotiate that price. I was fine with it. So I went ahead and paid him for these. But of course, that was after I tested them. So I did take my Sigma, and these did check out. They were good. So I did end up taking these home with me. So that was the first 2 pickups from the first table. And so the guy next to him actually had some Britannias as well. And he was asking his starting price. I did ask him. I said, what is your asking price for your Britannias? And he said that it was $430. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good. And he was like, what are you, he said, are you buying anything, or have you been buying it? I said, yeah. I said, I've already picked up a couple. And he said, well, what are you, if you don't mind me asking, what was you paying for what you've already bought? And I said, well, I said, the guy right beside you, I just brought 2 from him for $400 a piece. And he's like, really? He's like, well, he said, I'll be honest with you. He said, I'd be willing to take $400 a piece for those as well. So I knew that I could go back to him if he still had them. He had probably 3 or 4 left. So I knew that I had enough money to buy 1 or 2 more. But like I said, I was really wanting to get a maple so I could get that behind me. So I told him, I said, my primary hunt is a maple. So let me walk around a little bit more and see if I can find a maple first. And if not, I will come back to you. So that being said, let me show you a couple of clips and let you see some of the tables that I did kind of glance over with the phone or recording. It's kind of hard to do this just because when there's a crowd, I want to be respectful to people who are making deals and trying to negotiate deals. And, a lot of people don't want to be put out in the public like this. So you'll see that a lot of these clips are going to be kind of short, but I will kind of piece them together just to give you an idea of what you can find at a show. So let you see a little bit of that, and then I'll tell you what else I picked up. Get it out every once in a while. Yeah. And then I'll tell you.
I think 2011 is the oldest. Well, okay. But
all right, so with that clip, you can kind of see there's a pretty good variety of stuff. I mean, that's just a small drop in a bucket of a lot of the things that you'll find at shows like this. One thing that I have noticed in the past, there is one other item that I kind of had on my mind today that I needed to get. It's something that I had to get for the company I work for. I let them know about, I was talking and talking about how when I've been to these shows, I've seen postage stamps. People sell, rows of 100 stamps, and you can get them really cheap. A roll of stamps today, 100 stamp row like this will cost you, like 78, 79 cents a stamp. So the value in this row is about $79. And you can find these at larger shows like the one in Chattanooga. I've seen them there every time I've been there, the Dalton store as well. So I was able to pick up for work, and of course they'll pay for it. So, but this is part of what I had to buy or decided to buy with the money that I took. But for $500, if you bought more than just a couple, they would even knock the price of these down to $40 a roll. So I was able to pick up, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how long this would last, but it's more than, it's $40 for something that's normally $79. So I got a dozen of those. So that's where part of this money went. $500 did go to that. So I knew that I was going to have to pick that up. So that did eat a little bit of the money that I took with me. But that being said, just gives you a general idea. There's so many different things that you can find that people buy. And you think, well, why would they sell these? Like, what's the purpose? There's people that buys Stamps are never going to go down. And I guess the mindset of certain people is if they have disposable money, they will go ahead and buy these by the case from the post office. So like today, there's people that are buying, whole cases of these. I think there's 16 of these in one little strapped case. And they'll buy them for regular price at 79 cents a stamp, so $79 a row or 78, whatever it is. And they will hold these things for years, knowing that, next year price of stamps will go up and they'll have these forever stamps at a price that's cheaper than it is going to be later on. So people that buy these things, they die off. Their family sells stuff that they have, and these sellers, they go in and they buy things and they get these for who knows what. Obviously, they're making money on it, I'm sure. So if they're selling it to me for $40 a row, they paid less than that for the stamps. And anyway, here I am, and I get to save money and do that. So that's one of the other items that I purchased today. So that being said, still on the hunt for a maple leaf. And I did find a table, actually saw a table, had a pretty good crowd around it, and I seen that he had a maple leaf. And to be honest with you, I didn't see a lot of maples in the show today. I saw more Britannias, which is very odd for me. I usually see more maples than I do Brits, but today was different. I saw more Brits than I did maples. And but the table that I went to, and like I said, I actually saw this before I saw the Britannias that I bought. But his booth was pretty busy. He was busy. He was buying stuff from someone, and they were working out deals. So I just kind of moseyed on over a table or two over, and that's when I bought these. And then walked around a little bit more and went back to his table. Really nice guy. And I happen to think that you guys, like I said, you've asked me before, do we test these? And so I did do a little bit of clip. I was able to work out a deal with this guy. And again, I went to him and I just asked him what his asking price was for the maples. And he let me know that he would take $400. Again, he was asking melt. There was I didn't have to negotiate prices with people today, which was kind of odd. But thankfully, he was able, he had a couple of maples. And so I'll let you see which one I bought here in just a second. But let me show you a really quick clip, just so that you guys want to know. This is going to be him and his machine. So I asked him, I told him that I would take one. I told him I did not care what the date was. I thought he only had one in the case, but he had two. He brought two over to me, and he tested both of them right there in front of me. So I'm going to show you that clip just for you guys. It's a really short clip just for you that want to know, well, how do you know if these are good or not? This is how you know. That'll work. Looks good to me.
All right.
There's the 400, and I'll just take one. I'll just grab that one.
That works.
Thank you, sir.
You're more than welcome. Appreciate it.
So that is the one that I picked up. He had a 2023 as well as a 2019, I believe the other one was. I just grabbed the 2023. I didn't even think about it. Like I said, dates don't typically matter to me. But I did not think about it until after, recording this part of the video, that the 2023 is actually, for me, I think it's a better year simply because this is the last year that the Queen was on it. And this is kind of the celebration of the Queen. She passed away, I believe, in 22, and they celebrated her for the 1952 to 2022 final year coin on 23. So anyway, this is the coin that I picked up. And I was proud to be able to completely finish my 1/10 ounce maple. So I will not have to look for these anymore in future shows. I'll be focusing more towards finishing the Britannias. Like I said, now that I have these two, I believe I need about 5 more, and so I've got a total of 15 of these. My tube of airtights hold 20, so I need 5 more Brits, and I'm working on my second tube of American Eagles. So I'll be focusing more in 2026. I've got some plans for 2026, but it's going to be exciting for me. I've got a little bit of a challenge that I'm going to be doing for 2026 that starts in January, and I'll share more about that with you guys later on. So that being said, that fulfilled my gold purchases, and of course, like I said, the purchases I had to do for work. But there was still a silver purchase that I was looking for, and World Money Wins, he and I have been trading back and forth, and he loves the Halloween bars, and he has some fast forward bars that I've been wanting, and we've already traded a couple of different bars back and forth over the past year, but he has a couple of more fast forwards that I need. So I've been on the hunt, and World Money, I just want to throw this video clip in here to prove to you. Well, I'll throw this clip in, take a look at this, and then I'll come back and let you know what I think.
Okay, so we're good on the 1901. No, I would have got a 1901. Oh, you got a 1901. No, you just wrote it. Yeah,
Hey, looking for 1 ounce silver bars that are Halloween themed. Do you have any?
No,
Not with me.
me.
Okay, thank you. All right, so as you heard in that, I did ask that guy, and I just recorded that one, but this, I said, I asked that question at every table. I am looking for 1 ounce silver bars that are Halloween themed, and I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about the Halloween bars. It just is almost impossible to try to find them. I felt like I asked almost every table that I come to, and I don't think I missed hardly any tables there. There were a couple, obviously, that I did not ask. But usually my follow-up question when I wasn't recording, my follow-up question was, do you know any of the sellers here that might have some? And you know, they would point me in directions and try to help me who they thought would have something like that kind of specialized in silver bars, vintage bars, and things like that. I did come across, I got directed to a gentleman that they said, yeah, not only does he have those, but he said, you know, I mentioned the fast forward bars, and he said he's got a couple of fast forward bars I know because I saw them at his table earlier. So I was excited. I went to the guy's table, and he had some fast forwards. Unfortunately, the 2 fast forward bars that he had, I already had. So I did not worry about buying those. I could have bought them as doubles to trade with somebody else, but I don't know anybody else that really is trying to complete that series but me. So I wouldn't have had nobody to trade with. So that being said, the Halloween bar that he had 2 Halloween bars. Both of them were the same bars that I have doubles of, and I already know that World Money Wins has those. So there was no sense in me buying those because he don't need them, and neither did I. So, and I've already got one of each of the ones he's got for trade. I already have that, so to trade for somebody else as well. So finally, and to wrap this video up, I did go on the way out, I did stop at another table to actually talk to them about fractional gold. He had some, of course, a lot of the tables had 1 gram bars, but he and I was trying to come to an agreement on a price. And the guy right beside him, which they were kind of partners on their booth, but they kind of, I guess, divided up their merchandise. I just happened to mention again to him, I said, I think I've already asked you this, but I'm going to ask you again, just in case. I was like, do you have any Halloween bars? And he said, yeah, you've already asked me. Well, the guy sitting next to him says, I got one. I said, you do have one? He said, yeah. And so he's going through, it's not on display. He's going through his stuff and throws out 2 Halloween bars. And again, one of them is one that I already had. And the other one was one that I did not have. And I'm pretty sure that World Money already has it. But I didn't have it, so I bought it for my collection. It is going to be this one. It is a Madison Mint. And I have not looked this up in the book yet. I do have one of the Art Bar collector books. But it is a Madison Mint bar. And it is a 1974 Halloween. So that is going to be another one. I guess I'm going to be adding this to my Halloween collection. Like I said, it seems like I have seen this one. Either, I could be wrong, I believe World Money Wins already has this one. But if it's not him, it could be Coin Sense and Nonsense. I'm not sure. He may have it. But I know I've seen this bar on YouTube somewhere. Or at least I believe I have. So I'm thinking that one's already, it's not going to be one that he needs anyway. But like I said, I knew I didn't have it, so I went ahead and picked it up. But that is what I picked up for today. So I did have a great time at the show. And you guys, if you have not been going to shows, you're going to get better deals at shows than you are buying something online. I personally also get really good deals at coin auctions because I go to this auction that's held, and you can see that in some of my earlier videos that I've posted over the last couple of weeks. There's a coin auction that happens every week in Alabama. It's in the Gadsden, Rainbow City area. And, I get great deals. There's no premiums. People ask me, so what is the premium you're paying? I don't have a premium. Whatever you bid on the merchandise, that's what you pay. So there's no buyer's premium. It's just an organization of coin collectors. They started it's made up of collectors and dealers, and they've got a coin club. They don't charge premiums, I don't believe, to the buyers or the sellers. They're actually a non-profit, so the money that they generate, it costs $10 a year for me to be a member. And the money they raise, they donate it. So they'll do a little auction at the beginning. I could go in and donate something to be sold at the auction. They'll start the auction that way. They'll raise, from what I can tell, it seems like they've raised somewhere, I don't really want to say, but it's a couple, it's tens of thousands of dollars that they raise throughout the year. And they turn around and donate every penny of it. There's no distributions amongst it's not a business as far as the auction. It's not an auctioneer business that's running the auctions. It's just this coin club that gets together. They're passionate about what they do, and it's just a great thing. But I know that a lot of you guys don't have access to something that's that great. If you're in the Alabama area, you have access to it. If you're not, I don't know about any organizations in your state. But if y'all don't have it, then start one, because it's a wonderful thing. But all that being said, this is how I've been buying most of my stuff lately. And you see, I'm getting everything at either melt prices. If you go back and look at the videos of where I purchased these grams, this 2 gram and that 5 gram bar, purchase those for under melt at the coin auction. So again, there's different ways of doing this, but it's a blast. So just remember, you build your wealth one asset at a time. So keep stacking.